What makes Tom Cruise's face so attractive? Welcome back to LookLogix. Today I'll be assessing Tom Cruise's facial attractiveness using faceiq labs. After marking his front and side profiles with the landmarks, his total score comes in at 6.12 out of 10, which is pretty good harmony. It's the top 18%, about 1 in 6 people. His front view gets a 7.71 out of 10, which is the top 0.2%, but his side view gets a 3.88 out of 10. And even though it doesn't look that bad, it's not really super recessed. We'll get into it more on what's causing such a low score. So we can see the visual diagram of his scoring and him on the scale comparative to what the average would be, which is 5, top 50%. This is his harmony score. And starting with the front view ratios, he has, for his lowest, the classic deviation of ipsilateral alar angle and jaw frontal angle at 3.13 out of 10. It's pretty common among who we've been rating for the white male Caucasians. And then his nose tip position, which is sometimes a 10 out of 10 for most people, but this is actually his second lowest score at 3.72 out of 10. You can see he has that drop nose and it's like bulbous, and it's slightly bulbous. His one eye apart test, he kind of fails at 4.98 out of 10. And then his ipsilateral alar angle by itself is also just a 5.05 out of 10. His lateral canthal tilt could be a little more positively tilted, but it is still pretty good at 6.9, and it's not negative, which is really good. Going down to his tops, he has his mouth corner position, his ear protrusion angle, intercanthal nasal width ratio is also a 10 out of 10. His eyebrow tilt is positively set, and then his eyebrow low settedness is this is ideal. It's so low set, and it should be in here. Eyebrow low settedness is a 10 out of 10, as you can see. His chin to philtrum ratio is a 9.75, so not quite ideal, but it is basically almost a 10 out of 10. His neck width is also very close to being ideal. So for Tom Cruise, this is a pretty good rating, and I think with these photos, this is the best I could find that was straight on without him making an expression and as little distortion as possible. But let's move on to his side ratios, and I want to tell you why he's getting such a low score. So immediately off the bat, we can see his lowest is not even a tenth of a point. It's 0.05 out of 10, and it's his upper lip S-line position. It's so out of the ideal range. And this is all because his nose destroys all his other measurements. I mean, you can see his brow ridge is pretty good. He has pretty sunken eyes. They're not bulbous out like bug eyes. And his ear looks good. His hair looks good. His hairline looks great. So he has a good looking face overall, but this nose really destroys his harmony, which is the objective measurements. His gonial angle is out of the ideal range at 1.73 out of 10. You can see what's going on here. It backs up instead of straight. His lower lip S-line position, these are all his lowest. I want to talk about the nose area. So his nose tip rotation angle is ideal right here. I mean, this is ideal, but not with this round bulbousness. This is almost like a witch nose kind of, and you can see how large his nose looks comparatively. I mean, if only you could lean that out without surgery and other things, but if you did want to go that route, then that's totally possible with a rhinoplasty. His nasofrontal angle and his nasolabial angle gets a 10 out of 10, however. And then his top score is the mandibular plane angle. But on these lower scores, a lot is happening with his lip area. You can see what it looks like. It's really not ideal. So let's look at the overview and see what Tom Cruise's key strengths are. So he has balanced jaw growth, ideal jaw width, ideal nose width, ideal mouth width, harmonious face shape, well-positioned cheekbones, harmonious ear protrusion, that's definitely one of his tops, balanced brow ridge for sure, ideal forehead slope. By the way, guys, if you want to use the app for yourself and see what your own score is, you can get a free scan and 20% off any plan if you use my referral code LookLogix. I'll put a link in the description and the pinned comment. Definitely. Well-positioned eyebrows, balanced eyebrow tilt, ideal maxillary projection. So you guys can pause this if you want to go through it. I'll just scroll through it. There you go. Righty. Now let's look at his areas of improvement. So for Tom, his top is his -7 harmony, which is very low score. It is his flat jaw. The jaw lacks curvature, appearing straight and less dynamic in shape. This is severe. Then he has some mandibular recession. Now, before I said he didn't have much recession, and I wasn't just meaning his mandibular. With the lower jaw set back, creating a less prominent chin and an unbalanced profile. Thin lower lip, the lower lip lacks fullness, appearing too slim relative to the upper lip. Insufficient eye tilt. Round neck region. Maxillary recession. Okay, the maxillary recession is there. So he has some pretty low scores here, and these are all really kind of the hard max, which would be surgeries. Hard max is just like a modern slang for surgery to correct these errors. There isn't much you can do, especially at he's in his 60s now. These are a little bit younger pictures. But if he really wanted to change them, he has the money and the ability to. It just depends on his image as an actor and a figure, if that's really worth it, because people know him and remember his face so much for what he looks like. So if he got a rhinoplasty, he could really stand out. Or he could get something that's kind of partial and just to make it a little more ideal. It just really depends on the person and what you're happy with, right? You know, the lower score for him, this isn't counting his height, his voice, his status, anything like that. This is just his harmony, not even his dimorphism for his face. But his lowest score probably overall would be his height at 5'7" tall, maybe even a little shorter. I think the publicly listed is kind of inflated for him. So yeah, that's what makes Tom Cruise so attractive facially. And if you guys would like to try the app for yourself, by the way, you can put your own photos in. It'll tell you exactly how. It's actually quite simple. It'll give you your full rating, your harmony analysis, your front ratio, side ratios, everything that we went through, and your key strengths, key weaknesses. I really do like this app, and that's why I actually became a partner with it. And I have a 20% off coupon for any plan that you guys can use. Make sure to use the referral code LookLogix as well. It's in the description and the pinned comment. And if you guys want me to rate anyone else, then just make a comment. I'll make sure to get back to you. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.